I wonder, I was making a list of some of the reopening metrics that we're seeing, at least in New York City. Indoor dining capacity's up. Tomorrow you can go to a Knicks game, although it's limited capacity at the Garden. How does that compare to some of the slower progress we're seeing of employers bringing workers back into the office?
Sure. Well, at Amtrak, of course, we're an essential service, and 70% of our employees have to show up every day to operate our service, whether they're on the train, in the locomotive, in our stations, in our dispatch centers, and working in our engineering groups on track infrastructure or our mechanical shops, repairing the locomotives and the cars themselves. So I heard, your opening comments there. Our goal is to get 100% of our employees vaccinated. Right now in our operation, we're selling 50% of the capacity of a train, or up to 50%, ensuring proper social distancing, among other protocols we have in place. But your earlier statistic is right. We're at about 24% of normal levels of ridership, and beginning to work through what return to office is going to look like.
What do you think that number will look like, say, come summer, in terms of ridership?
We think we're on a fiscal year, of course, so our fiscal quarter for July through September, we're anticipating a run rate of about 36% of normal ridership, and then hopefully growing into the calendar fourth quarter and into 2022.
Bill, I had the opportunity to go down to your Delaware facility about a year ago to view your new Acela trains. I'm wondering when you expect those high-speed trains to come into service.
So, Seema, we have 2 prototypes now, which we're running through required testing before they're fully authorized to operate. But we're anticipating we'll start revenue service with a number of our new Acelas later in the year, November, December timeframe.
In the meantime, you're seeing a number of high-speed rail projects take off in different parts of the United States. Florida, you have Portland to Seattle, San Bernardino in California. But all of these projects, Bill, are dealing with their own setbacks, whether it's regulation, environmental concerns, budgetary constraints. I mean, is high-speed rail ever going to become a reality here in the U.S. when you have trains, across Spain and Japan that are just much faster and more efficient?
Well, I think the larger question is there a future for intercity passenger rail? And we absolutely believe that there is. And we think it's an essential part of our country's mobility strategy. High speed, I think, has different connotations. So the new Acela 21s have speeds capable of 160 miles an hour. But I used to live in Japan, and I rode the Shinkansen for many years. Tokyo to Nagoya nonstop achieves a certain speed, but if we're Washington to Baltimore to Wilmington to Philly and New York, our average operating speed is going to be lower. But I'll come back to my earlier point. There's a great future for intercity passenger rail in the United States.
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.